The Conditioned Mind of the Oppressed in Susan McKee Charnas' Holdfast series. According to Janet Bullman, the assumptive worldview is that everyone views the world as mostly good and mostly beneficial, with a positive outlook on the self. However, in recent studies, that is untrue. In New York Times, Syria changed the world. The atmosphere in the world is not going toward hope and democracy in the individual. It is going toward nationalism, hatred, and the rise of the security state. This is seen also in our literature, where literature is a reflection on our society. In Susan McKee Charnas' series, The Holdfast, Walk to the End of the World, and Motherlines. In Motherlines, Dea, a pet, states that she never pointed out that here among the free femmes of the grasslands, she found herself once more a pet among labor ferns. She kept that joke to herself. The free femmes, despite having earned their freedom away from the men of the Holdfast, are still conditioned to behave in a certain way that aligns themselves with their oppressors. Unfortunately, the way the free femmes behave in their sphere of freedom is not just a plot device or element of characterization of dystopian fiction. Reacting in this manner after being freed from a form of oppression has been a common occurrence in history. In her chapter, Jeffries explains how there are festivals that promote SM as sexual parody of master-slave dynamics. She explains how they make it clear that SM practice comes from nowhere more mysterious than the history of our very real oppression. Brenda Moore agrees in her parody with differences. Susan McKee Charnas concludes the Holdfast series article in which she writes that Motherlines also depicts a society of escaped free femmes who have been so far incapable of decolonizing get their minds to invent a new life. Still driven by internalized hierarchical and possessive thinking, their patriarchal society reinvents patriarchy, rebuilding and perpetuating slavery at tea camp. She also states that unlike the writing women, the free femmes cling to external controls. Lifting external oppression, Charnas warns, will not automatically change us if our internal programming remains untouched. In the New York Times article, Syria Changes the World, the last statement that Bernard quotes is, "This will repeat in other places." Dr. Munir Khalid, a health official in Rebel held Idlib, said a day after treating victims of the recent chemical attack, "If Europe and America are honest, to preserve the values they are defending, they should fight this oppression. There should be a political pressure on the regime." Oppression still exists, and we see that clearly in the news that we are bombarded with every day. More than that, we are still being presented with the tensions from past oppression, because it's never been dealt with properly. It's not enough to simply stop oppression. It is not enough to simply have physical freedom.